Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my March 2017 TBR. I'm not sure if you noticed anything different or not with the quality, but I went out and splurged a little bit of my birthday money today, and I actually bought a webcam. So I'm trying something different. I'm going to see how this works. From what I can see looking at you guys, it looks good, so we shall see what we think about it. But anyway, like I said, March 2017 TBR. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, what I actually do every month is I participate in the Triple RC Challenge. And the Triple RC, which is the Romance Readers Something Challenge, I can't remember. But I will post a link to it in the down bar below to the actual group on Goodreads. And yes, it's for romance readers, it says, but I don't necessarily read all romance books in a month. I take the categories. They give you 10 categories, and you can do as many different ones as you want. You can do one, or you can do all 10, or some mixture in between. And, you know, they're so open-ended that they don't necessarily have to be romance novels. And you'll see that as I go through the questions. So, again, this is a new camera, so I can actually minimize the screen. So I do hope that I am showing everything in frame. I think it will work. But let's go ahead and get started. So, category number 1 is M is for March. Read a book that starts with M, or a book whose author's first or last name starts with an M. So pretty much what I did, I went through my TBR, and the very first or the oldest book that I had on my TBR that started with the letter M is the one that I'm going to read. And that is Marriage Made in Money. Can't get more M's than that in a title. And that's by Sophia James. This is a Harlequin historical Regency novel. It is the first book in the Penniless Lords series. So here is the cover. This is pretty much about a widow, and she's kind of being forced into another marriage. And the gentleman that she's marrying, he's a lord, I believe. He is essentially, as the series title suggests, he doesn't have any money, enough money to run his estate. She does have money, so essentially he's marrying her because of her money. But I guess it ends up being a love match. I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to it. Challenge number 2, Happy Anniversary. Read a book that was published in March of any year, or read a book by a Triple RC member that joined in March of any year. And I always go and pick a member. So I went through they give you a link to the members list of everyone who joined in March of any year. And I kind of go through and I look for people who have like a really, really high amount of books that are shelved, like well over 1,000, and I figure there's got to be something there that we have in common. So I found another user named CJ Kinsella, it says, and the book that we both have in common is one I'm very much looking forward to reading. This came out over a year ago, and I still haven't read it yet, which is, for me, bad, I should say, because she is an auto-buy author for me, and that's Kristen Higgins, and the book is If You Only Knew. I have been looking forward to this book ever since I saw it was coming out, but I still had never gone around to actually reading it. So essentially what this book is about, it's about two sisters, and the one sister lives in New York City. I believe she's a wedding dress designer, and she gets dumped in a spectacular fashion, as it says on the back of the book. So she kind of, tail between her legs, heads back to her hometown in upstate New York. Most of Kristen Higgins' books take place in that area, upstate New York, Maine, New Hampshire, that kind of area. And she goes home, and it's a good thing because her younger sister is going through a crisis in her relationship as well. Her and her husband are splitting up. So the two sisters are kind of there to console each other, and the younger sister, the one who was actually married, she kind of wishes that her marriage had been as perfect as her parents' marriage. Well, the older sister, the one from New York, I guess she knows secrets about her parents' marriage, essentially stuff that, you know, not everybody is aware of, and, you know, doesn't want to necessarily break it to her younger sister. So it sounds like a really, really great family story, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Kristen Higgins is such a fantastic author. She can make you laugh and cry all within the same chapter, so I'm very much looking forward to reading this book this month. Category number 3 is Feature Author Challenge, and the author this month is Marie Force, and I actually was super excited because I have a few of her books in my collection. Now, she writes both contemporary romance. She has a big series that she's written, and I believe Jen from Today in Jen's Library has read a lot of those. She also does a romantic suspense series, which is what I have a couple of, and I actually have the first book in one of those, so I decided to get started with that one. So I plan on reading Fatal Affair by Marie Force. This is the first book in the Fatal series, and like I said, this is a romantic suspense novel, and the woman is a police detective. Her name is Sam, and I think a senator is killed in Washington, D.C., so her and she's been given a new partner are investigating the crime, and, you know, it's a typical romantic suspense novel. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard she's a very good author, so I think this one should be really good. And, you know, I think there's like almost 10 books in this series already. So I hope I like it, because I do own a couple other ones that I was able to grab on daily deals. So, you know, you guys know me and my Kindle daily deals. So hopefully I like this one so I can continue on with the series after this. Category number 4. March the 4th and Do Something Day. A day to do something you haven't done before. Read a book by an author or a genre that you have not read before, or a book where someone does a charitable act for another. So the book that I actually picked is, I have read nonfiction before, but this is scientific nonfiction, and this is an author I know I have not read before. Now, this is not a romance novel, but the book is called What If by Randall Munroe. This is a, like I said, a scientific nonfiction book. And essentially, I think this gentleman has a website. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here that I have on my computer. I'm just going to read this out loud to you guys. It might be a little bit easier. Randall Munroe left NASA in 2005 to start up his hugely popular XKCD, a webcomic of romance, sarcasm, math, and language, which offers a witty take on the world of science and geeks. Essentially, it was like him and his buddies. He says here, my friend and I were arguing about what would happen if a bullet got struck by lightning, and we agreed that you should resolve it, ... So there are those kind of questions. What if this happened? I've heard a lot of great things about this book. This has been on my TBR for many years, and I have yet to get to it, so I'm really excited that this category came up and I was able to fit this book in this month, and I'm really looking forward to it. Category number 5, March the 12th, Daylight Savings Times begins. I can't believe Daylight Savings Time is almost here. And we're springing forward, which means we're losing an hour, and that kind of sucks, but it will be nice that it'll be a little bit lighter at night. So it says, first suggested by Benjamin Franklin and first adopted by Germany as a way to save the light, then why do we feel like we lose sleep? It's because we do lose sleep. Read a book that is set in Germany, set in a different time, i.e. a historical or a future novel, involves time travel, or has the word save or light anywhere in the title, or series. I didn't read that part about a series, but that's okay. I don't have any books like that in my in any series. So the book I picked is Light the Stars by Rayanne Thane. This is the first book in the Cowboys of Cold Creek series, so there's the cover. This is a Harlequin special edition romance novel, and it's about a man who is a single father. I don't know what happened to his wife, whether she passed away or left them, but his mother is helping raise his kids. And then one day he wakes up and she's gone, and he doesn't know how to handle the kids by himself. Well, then the door knock, there's a knock at the door, and this woman is there, and her father ran off with his mother, so she's pretty much going to come in and help him look after the kids until the newlyweds return, or the father and the mother. So it should be interesting. Rayanne Thane is a really good author, and I am looking forward to this one. Next category, March the 13th, Jewel Day. In many societies, jewelry is worn as a way of reflecting one's status in society, something beautiful. Read a book that has any kind of jewelry on the cover, or a book that you would consider a beautiful love story. So the book I picked is one that I bought not that long ago, and I kind of got on a whim because this is not something that I would typically read, but I'm very excited about it, and it's called The Bollywood Bride by Sonali Dev. Isn't that cover just stunning? And as you can see, she's wearing her ring and bracelet, so there's the jewelry that the category is calling for. This is about a woman who acts, I guess, in Bollywood productions, and she lives, I think, in Mumbai, and she comes to the U.S. for her cousin's wedding, and runs into the man that I think she was originally intended to marry before she became a Bollywood star. I'm not too sure. It does sound interesting. The cover got me right away. I mean, it's just beautiful. And, this is really out of what I would normally read. It's a culture I don't know a lot about, so I am very much looking forward to reading this one. Category number 7, March 19th, Let's Laugh Day. Read a book considered humorous or funny. So I went on Goodreads and I checked out the Listopia feature, which I absolutely love. And I looked up humorous romantic comedies, you know, stuff like that. And almost every list that I looked at, the Bridgerton series, which if you guys have been following my channel for a little while, know I've been reading almost every month, or for at least January and February, I read books 2 and 3. I read book number 1 back in 2016. And every single one featured this series. And finally I just said, you know what? The universe is telling me I need to move on to book number 4, so that's what I've decided to do. So for this one, I am reading Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn, number 4, as I said, in the Bridgerton series. This is Colin's story, and I am so excited. Colin is my favorite character by far so far in the series. He makes me laugh every time he makes an appearance, and this is him and Penelope's story. So really, really looking forward to this one. When this one's done, that'll put me half done this series, and that makes me a little sad because I do love it so much that I don't want it to end. I mean, I want to read the next one, you know what I mean, but I still love it too much to have it end, so I'm going to be very sad when I'm not going to get to visit with these characters anymore, but in the meantime, I am thoroughly looking forward to reading this one. Category number 8, March 23rd, Make Up Your Own Holiday Day. Read a book with any holiday included in the storyline, or if you can't find one, read a book that you would read well on holiday. So, I'm hoping that this book does include a holiday in it. I'm thinking it might, and that holiday will probably be Halloween, but if not, I would totally read this book while I was on holiday or on vacation. I could have very easily just picked a Christmas book, but as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I don't read Christmas books unless it's like from mid-November till the end of December. I just can't. I find it weird to be reading a Christmas story, you know, even if it's the middle of winter still, it just feels weird to me if it's not the season. So the book that I actually picked to read is The Witch's Daughter by Paula Braxton. This is it kind of goes back and forth in time. It's about a woman who, I guess, in a way, sells her soul to the devil. And she's now been alive for like 300 years, and she's living in a quiet village now in England, and she takes on a student to teach her the ways of, you know, the old ways, the ways of witchcraft, essentially. I'm assuming Halloween is probably going to pop up in this, but I can't be sure. But like I said, if not, this is totally a book I'd read on holiday. I've heard about this book quite a bit from a number of people, and I'm really excited about it. I've owned it for quite some time, so I'm really excited to finally get it read off my TBR. That's one of the things I'm absolutely loving about doing these challenges, is it gets me to go through my TBR and find stuff and finally read it. I mean, I bought it to read it. I might as well get to it, right? Category number 9. I absolutely love this one. March 28th, Something on a Stick Day. Read a book that has anything on the cover that could be considered a stick. Now, this is a romance reader challenge, so you can imagine some of the things that maybe other people have been picking. Or one that includes cooking as part of the storyline. For example, a chef or a bakery. So I went with bakery. And I am reading the second book in the Hannah Swenson series, and that is Strawberry Shortcake Murder by Joanna Fluke. The Hannah Swenson series is absolutely adorable. It's a cozy mystery series, and it's about a woman named Hannah Swenson who runs a cookie shop called the Cookie Jar, I believe. And as cozy mysteries go, if you guys are unfamiliar with them, they're pretty much your amateur sleuths kind of idea. And, you know, she's constantly running into dead bodies in this small little town. So, Strawberry Shortcake Murder, it sounds like a lot of fun. It fits the category, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this series. And category number 10, Reader's Choice. Read any book of your choosing. Well, again, if you guys have been following my my channel for the last little while, you know I've been working my way through the Crew of Hunter series by Heather Graham. And January and February, I was able to fit the last 2 books into categories outside of the Reader's Choice category. I tried this month. I could have probably fit this in for the Time one, but I decided, you know what, let's just stick it in Reader's Choice. So my streak is over, but I'm still going to see at the end of the year how many in total I was able to fit in each category, or each month. So book number 7 in the Crew of Hunter series, I can't believe I'm already up to book 7, is The Unspoken, of course, by Heather Graham. This one is about a ship that sunk in Lake Michigan in the late 1800s, and on board of the ship was the sarcophagus of a Egyptian sorcerer, it says. So now weird things have started happening. There's a dive team that's gone down now in modern day, and they're trying to, I guess, bring or salvage stuff from the ship, and they start dying. So essentially they unleashed a curse. So it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, Crew of Hunters, Heather Graham, I can't go wrong. So anyway, guys, that is it for my TBR for March. I hope you did enjoy it. And let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them, or are you doing the Triple RC Challenge? Let me know as well, and I'd love to know what books you picked for some of the categories. And until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Bye.